Welcome to the NIOS studio. This is Dr. Devika R, Assistant Professor, giving a lecture on the topic angles and types of angles. The word angles would be quite familiar to you all, I believe, because you'd have seen angles at the corners of your textbooks, in your notebooks, and you can easily find the angles in the corners of your window, your blackboard, and so on. So let's move on with the interesting topic, angles and types of angles. And in this session, I will be dealing with angles, types of angles, how are angles classified, and some of the important properties related with angles. So before starting with the concept of angles, we need to know about two important concepts, that is lines and points. As you all know, lines are essential for forming angles. For convenience, here I will begin with two lines, say line AB and line CD. It should be remembered that always capital letters should be used for marking the points on the line. And do you notice any peculiarity in these lines? About the lines AB and CD? Do they ever meet or do they ever intersect? Let's see. Now we will deal with the concept of parallel lines. The lines which I have shown just now are called parallel lines, as such lines never intersect, or in other words we can say they never cross each other. Now examples for parallel lines, you'd have seen parallel lines in the railway tracks. Haven't you seen the parallel lines in the zebra crossing? And in the parallel bars of the gymnastics. Now we will deal with intersecting lines. Can we make intersecting lines from a set of parallel lines? Think of making the parallel lines into intersecting lines. See this. Now what do we do here? We just tilted the pair of lines in such a way that the lines meet each other, or in other words we can say the two lines crosses each other, or in other words we can say that these two lines just have shown before have intersected. Now we are very much closer to the concept of angles. Angles are the shapes or the space between the intersecting lines. See this? We have got four angles here in this pair of intersecting lines. Here we have got four pairs of intersecting lines in this picture. Or in other words we can say angles are simply the shapes, or we can say they are the space between the intersecting lines. Angles can also be thought of as the amount of turn between two straight lines that have a common endpoint. And what can we call this common endpoint? It can be termed as the vertex of the angle. Note the word vertex. Let us continue with the definition of angles. If A, B and C are three non-collinear points, then the figure formed by the rays AB and AC is known as angle ABC. Note the points marked in the diagram. A, B and C are 3 points, and very important, please note that those 3 points are non-collinear points. Also, you would have seen the new term here, rays. Here we have got two rays, ray AB and ray AC. Also observe that the two rays AB and AC meet at one particular point, that is A. So the shape or the amount of turn occurred here can be termed as angle. Here we have got the angle B, A and C, and it is written as angle BAC. And the symbol that is used for representing the angle is much similar to the less than symbol that we use in mathematics. And we can also say that AB and AC are the arms of the angle BAC. Now, what do you call the point A? A is called its vertex. So, it is very important to observe the arms of the angle and to find out the vertex of the angle. As said before, we need to have a symbol for representing the angle. Angles can be denoted by the symbol as shown here, and angles are measured in degrees. The angle in the previous example can be represented in two ways, either as angle BAC or angle CAB. In both the cases, it is to be noticed that the common vertex come in the middle position, which means, as said before, the common vertex A comes in the middle position of angle BAC or angle CAB. Now, let us move on with the types of angles. Now, we will deal with the different types of angles. In geometry, angles are classified according to the size of angles. Now, how the size of angles can be determined? We can do this with the help of a protractor. Haven't you seen protractor that are used by the students? Haven't you observed the degrees that are marked in the protractor? See, it starts from 0 degree, then 10 degree, then 20 degree, 30 degree, and the divisions go on and ends at 180 degree. This instrument should be handled very carefully and accurately for finding the type of angle. Measurement of an angle. Now, how to determine the measurement of an angle? There is an axiom that is related with it. For each angle, or we can say with every angle, a real number greater than 0 and less than 180 degree is associated, as we have seen in the protractor. Classification of angles. It is very interesting to see that there are three types of angles. Angles can be classified, and from the measuring point of view, angles are classified into three types. The first one is called the right angle, the second type is called the acute angle, and the third type is called the obtuse angle. Now, we will deal with what we mean by these three types of angles. An angle of measure 90 degrees is called right angle, an angle of measure less than 90 degree and more than 0 degree is called acute angle. Now, what about the obtuse angle? An angle of measure greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree is called obtuse angle. Let us deal more with the acute angles. When two straight lines makes an angle with each other in such a way that it is greater than 0 degree and less than 90 degree, acute angles are formed. Please observe the acute angles shown here. I have marked here 55 degree, 35 degree, 89 degree and 18 degree. See, all these angles lies between 0 and 90 degree. So, whenever an angle lies between 0 and 90 degree, it can be termed as acute angles. Please note the diagrams as shown here. Here the first diagram is the diagram of a leaf, and in between we can see acute angles, and in the second diagram also we can see acute angles, and the third one where the pencils are sharpened, there also we can see acute angles. Now, the second category or the type of angle is called obtuse angle. When two straight lines makes an angle with each other in such a way that if it is greater than 90 degree and less than 180 degree, obtuse angles are formed. As you can see from the diagram here, all the angles are greater than 90 degree, but they are less than 180 degree. So this is the difference between the acute angle and obtuse angle. Now we will move on with the next section, that is pairs of angles, and here I will deal with three kinds of pairs of angles. The first one is adjacent angle, next is complementary angle, and the final one is supplementary angles. The first pair of angle is adjacent angles. Now, what do you mean by the word adjacent? Adjacent means something that is very closer. That is, in this case, if two angles have a common vertex and a common arm, then such pair of angles are called adjacent angles. In this diagram, there is a common vertex O and it has a common arm OB. Such pairs of angles are called adjacent angles. Now, the second category of pairs of angles is complementary angles. When can we say two angles are complementary? In both of these diagrams, we can see pairs of angles, and the pairs of angles will be complementary on the basis of one condition: if the sum of the angle measures 90 degree. Now, the third pair of angle is called supplementary angles, and in this case, two angles are said to be supplementary only if the sum of their angle measures 180 degree, and this is a condition that we use in order to find supplementary angles. Please observe the figure and see that here the pairs of angles that formed, if we use a protractor and find out the angles, and after finding the angles, please find the sum of the angles, and if the sum of their measures equals 180 degree, we can say supplementary angles are formed. Two things should be remembered here while dealing with complementary and supplementary angles. A pair of complementary angles may or may not be adjacent. In the same way, a pair of supplementary angles may or may not be adjacent. Now, let me deal with the concept of vertically opposite angles. Consider the lines AB and CD that intersect at the point O. I have drawn here two lines, line AB and line CD, in such a way that they cross each other at the point O. Because the lines intersect, we have got angles formed, and I have marked the angle. The first one, angle AOD, is formed because the rays OA and OD intersect. Also note the rays, ray OC and OB, which are the opposite rays of OA and OD, that also intersect at the point O. Thus, we have got a pair of vertically opposite angles, angle AOD and angle BOC. In the same way, angle AOC and angle BOD forms a pair of vertically opposite angles. Now, we will deal with the angles that are formed by the transversal. I have drawn here two lines AB and CD, and I have got a transversal PQ. Also, I have used the numbers from 1 to 8. The lines AB and CD is cut by a transversal PQ. Because of this, 8 angles are formed, and the angles that are formed has been marked with the help of numbers from 1 to 8. And I have marked the angles, the pairs of angles, angle 1 and 5, the angle that is numbered by 2 and 6, 4 and 8, 3 and 7 can be given a new name. They are called pairs of corresponding angles. In the same way, the angles which are marked as 1 and 7, 2 and 8 can be termed as exterior alternate angles. In the same way, interior alternate angles are formed and they are marked as 3 and 5, 4 and 6. Thus, we have dealt here corresponding angles, exterior alternate angles and interior alternate angles. Now, consider the lines EF and GH that is cut by the transversal PQ. Because the lines are cut by the transversal PQ, as just before, so many angles are formed, and here I have used the letters from A to H to mark the angles. Angles that are marked as A and H, B and E, D and G, C and F are called pairs of corresponding angles. By making use of the protractor, we are able to measure the angles and we can easily see that exterior alternate angles are of equal measure and interior alternate angles are of equal measure. Also, corresponding angles are of equal measure, and this will be a very interesting activity to do along with the students. Give the students a pair of lines and give them the direction to cut those lines with the help of a transversal. Ask them to mark the angles formed and then ask them to mark the exterior alternate angles and then the interior alternate angles and then the corresponding angles, and please do ask the students to measure it with the help of a protractor, and we can see that these angles, exterior alternate angles, are of equal measure and interior alternate angles will be of equal measure. Also, help the students to know that the corresponding angles are of equal measure. These are the concepts that I have dealt here, and let's move back. Let's recapitulate what we have learned today. As I said in the beginning, we need the help of lines and points to form the angles. Moreover, two lines should intersect, they should cross each other in order to form angles. Angles are to be denoted by a symbol. In mathematics, we use the symbol less than to denote it. Now, how they should be measured? The angles should be measured using a protractor and they are measured in degrees. Now, once the angles are formed, it will be interesting to learn about the type of angles. Angles are classified as right angles, acute angles and obtuse angles. Right angles means they form 90 degree. Acute angle means the angle lies between 0 and 90 degree. Obtuse angle means those angles which are greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. And along with this type of angles, we have got a new concept called the pairs of angles, and here we have dealt with adjacent angles, complementary angles and supplementary angles. Now again, let me refresh those things that we have learned. Angles lesser than 90 degree but greater than 0 degree are called acute angles. Angles greater than right angle but less than 180 degree are called acute angles. Complementary angles combines to form right angle. Supplementary angles combines to form 180 degree. And it is very interesting to see that the exterior alternate angles are of equal measure and interior alternate angles are of equal measure. Also, corresponding angles when measured will be equal. So, I think this topic will be of extreme use for the students, as in the real life they will be dealing with so many angles, and this topic will help the students to identify the angles and to know more about the angles, so that it will be of greater use to the students. Thank you.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो। मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने, स्वयं बने, हम
पच्चीस साल का लंबा सफर और लाखों लोगों के चेहरों पर खिलती मुस्कान, गर्व और गरिमा से जीने की प्रेरणा देती मुस्कान, आत्मसम्मान और विश्वास से पैदा हुई मुस्कान। इन खिलते चेहरों पर ये मुस्कान आई है शिक्षा के जरिए। ये मुस्कान आई है नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग यानी NIOS के जरिए। नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग या राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान, इस संस्थान का एक बड़ा उद्देश्य है आम आदमियों के जीवन को बेहतर बनाना। ऐसे लोग जिनके लिए शिक्षा एक दूर का सपना है, या वे बच्चे जो परिवार की रोजी रोटी कमाने के लिए बीच में ही स्कूल छोड़ने पर मजबूर हो जाते हैं। NIOS ऐसे बच्चों और बड़ों को दोबारा शिक्षा से जुड़ने का मौका मुहैया कराता है ताकि वे एक बेहतर जीवन जी सकें। 1989 में स्थापना के बाद NIOS ने देश के लाखों बच्चों और वयस्कों को बेहतर शिक्षा से जोड़ा है। इनमें हर उम्र, हर पृष्ठभूमि, हर जाति, हर मजहब और हर क्षेत्र के लड़के लड़कियां, महिलाएं और पुरुष शामिल हैं। बढ़ई से लेकर पायलट, डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर, बेकर और दर्जी तक NIOS कोशिश कर रहा है सबको शिक्षित और सशक्त बनाने की, चाहे वो असम के दूर दराज इलाके में रहने वाला हो या फिर मुंबई जैसे महानगर का। NIOS ने अपनी मौजूदगी हर जगह दर्ज कराई है। NIOS ने शिक्षा की परंपरागत सोच को ही बदल दिया है। वो पढ़िए जो हम पढ़ाते हैं की जगह NIOS की नई सोच है, हम वो पढ़ाते हैं जो आप पढ़ना चाहते हैं। इस नई सोच ने लोगों को आगे बढ़ने और NIOS के साथ जुड़ने के लिए प्रोत्साहित किया है। शिक्षा उपलब्ध कराने के मामले में NIOS किसी सीमा को नहीं मानता, उम्र की सीमा को भी नहीं। चंडीगढ़ के गणेश के लिए भी NIOS एक वरदान साबित हुआ। NIOS शारीरिक रूप से अक्षम बच्चों को भी बेहतर शिक्षा मुहैया कराने के लिए पूरी तरह प्रतिबद्ध है। ऐसे बच्चों के लिए शिक्षा न केवल रोजगार के द्वार खोलती है, बल्कि उन्हें आत्मविश्वास और गर्व के साथ जीना भी सिखाती है। NIOS खेल के इन सितारों को उनकी सुविधा और समय के अनुसार बेहतर शिक्षा उपलब्ध कराता है। मेरी कॉम, सोमदेव देववर्मन, देविका रेबेका पल्लिकल, अरमान इब्राहिम, प्रद्युमन प्रकाश और अमय जोत सिंह। NIOS सीमा पर खड़े उन प्रहरियों को भी शिक्षा से लाभान्वित करता है जो देश की सुरक्षा के लिए अपनी जान की बाजी लगाने से भी नहीं चूकते। सच तो ये है कि NIOS की पहुंच हर ओर रहती है, चाहे वो दूर दराज के आदिवासी हो या जेल की कोठरी में बंद कैदी या फिर ग्रामीण और शहरी क्षेत्रों के गरीब निवासी। देश में कहीं भी कोई भी व्यक्ति, स्त्री, पुरुष, लड़का, लड़की, अमीर, गरीब शिक्षा से वंचित न रहे। राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान का यही मिशन है।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान पूरे देश में शिक्षा के साथ साथ कौशल विकास के क्षेत्र में बहुत सारे कोर्सेज दे रहा है। लगभग 100 से ज़्यादा कोर्सेज हैं। हम दूर दराज के गांव में अपने संस्थान बनाते हैं और वहाँ के बच्चों को, वहाँ के बच्चियों को, वहाँ के वयस्कों को हुनर के क्षेत्र में शिक्षा पहुँचाते हैं। आपको जानकर खुशी होगी कि अब हम आर्ट, साइंस, कॉमर्स जिन क्षेत्रों में 12वीं का सर्टिफिकेट दिया जाता रहा है, अब हम हुनर के क्षेत्र में, वोकेशनल एरिया में भी 10वीं और 12वीं का सर्टिफिकेशन करेंगे। तो वो बच्चे जो कृषि से जुड़े हुए हैं, कारपेंट्री से जुड़े हुए हैं या दूसरे क्षेत्रों से जुड़े हुए हैं, वो अपने ही क्षेत्र में काम करेंगे, सीखेंगे, हुनर पैदा करेंगे अपने में और सर्टिफाइड भी होंगे कि वो सर्टिफाइड कृषक हैं, खेतिहर हैं। तो आज तक जो हमारे देश में ये सोच रही है कि आप 12वीं पास तभी कहे जाएंगे जब भूगोल, अर्थशास्त्र, भौतिकी ये पढ़ेंगे, अब ये समय बदल गया है। ITI में जितने बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, लगभग 18 लाख बच्चे हर साल दाखिला लेते हैं। अब हम उनको सर्टिफिकेशन करेंगे।
NIOS अपने छात्रों को माध्यमिक स्तर पर 26 और उच्च माध्यमिक स्तर पर 19 विषयों का विकल्प देता है। पढ़ाई किस माध्यम से करनी है, इसमें भी आपको लचीलापन मिलेगा। माध्यमिक स्तर पर ही 7 भाषाओं के अलग अलग माध्यमों का विकल्प मौजूद है। शैक्षणिक कार्यक्रमों के अलावा 86 वोकेशनल शिक्षा कार्यक्रम भी उपलब्ध हैं, जो छात्रों को कामकाजी दुनिया के लिए तैयार करते हैं। वोकेशनल प्रशिक्षण को अधिक सुदृढ़ बनाने के लिए NIOS ने ITDC, सिस्को, इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन जैसे कई सरकारी और गैर सरकारी संस्थानों के साथ भागीदारी स्थापित की है। आज लाखों छात्रों के लिए अपनी पसंद का स्कूल है राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालयी शिक्षा संस्थान यानी नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग। NIOS ने एक लंबा सफर तय किया है, लेकिन मंजिल अभी दूर है। निरंतर विकास और नवीनीकरण के लिए NIOS सदैव प्रतिबद्ध है। शिक्षा का उद्देश्य महज रोजगार जुटाना ही नहीं है, बल्कि स्वयं को सशक्त बनाना भी है। NIOS लाखों छात्रों के लिए यही आत्मसम्मान दिलाने में जुटा है। लाखों लोगों के लिए एक आशा और उम्मीद है। नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग। शिक्षा सबके लिए, कहीं भी, कभी भी।